You know what's even funnier to me than the embarrassment of Gennady Golovkin last night is the silly, desperate excuses given by a certain portion of his fan base. Just a certain portion. And I want you to keep in mind as I tell you these excuses that I'm seeing, I want you to keep in mind that these are the same people who call everybody else dumb and who says that we don't know shit about boxing. Okay? This is coming from them. Now, one of the excuses that comes up a lot on different comment sections is, we all just think that Jacobs won this fight because he survived. He looks better than what we expected. This is what they believe. They believe that we're not smart enough to watch a fight and say, hey, that guy put in more work. That guy was more effective. I think he won the fight. We're not smart enough to do that. A guy simply just doing a little bit better than what we expected and surviving a fight is enough for us to give him the win. But my question is, survive what? What did Daniel Jacobs have to survive? Gennady Golovkin didn't do shit in there, man, against him. You guys are acting like, this was a beating that Jacobs got and he survived, and so we're saying that he won. There was nothing to survive. Daniel Jacobs controlled the majority of this fight. So that excuse goes right out the fucking window, man. Another one, and we've heard this one before with Manny Pacquiao. Apparently, Golovkin went in there and looked like a shit fighter on purpose so that he can get Canelo and all these other scared guys to fight him. Okay, where have we heard that before? Remember when Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez and Skippy Longstockings sat on national TV and told everybody that this was done on purpose to make the Floyd fight? Remember that? This is the same type of shit right here, man. If you believe that a fighter goes in the ring, takes punches to the face, takes damage, risks getting knocked out by a power puncher on purpose just to make another fight with a completely different fighter that they're not even in the ring with at that time, and there's not even a guarantee that they're going to get that fight, if you believe that, you're dumb as hell. Okay, there's nothing else I could tell you. I can't sugarcoat it for you. If you believe that, you're dumb. Fighters don't want to go in there and get beat up and barely win a fight on purpose. Okay, now there's fighters that take money to take a dive, but they understand that they're going to lose that fight going into it. Nobody says, hey, I'm just going to barely win. I'm going to risk it. See what happens. See if I get the nod on the cards. No fighters do that, man. If you said that, if you're leaving a comment like that, you can never call anybody dumb. You can never tell somebody that they don't know anything about boxing if you believe that that's what fighters do. Okay? And somehow Floyd Mayweather is to blame for this too, with a lot of people. Apparently, Flomos are the only ones who think that Daniel Jacobs won the fight. And this comes up after every fight. And I think it's sad and pathetic, man, that people are still doing that. But hey, if they need that, whatever, But that's just stupid. Okay. And for those of you who keep bringing up Kovalev and Ward, these two fights are nothing alike. Kovalev and Ward was a close fight that could have gone either way. Kovalev could have easily won that fight, and I wouldn't have had no problem with that. I still think Ward won, but I don't think that he won by enough to say it was a robbery or anything like that if he had lost. It was a close fight. And Kovalev's knockdown was a real one. That was a legitimate knockdown that had Ward hurt. Ward had to recover from that. Okay? You look at this fight last night with Jacobs and Golovkin, completely different situation altogether. Okay? Now that knockdown in the fourth round, it was scored a knockdown, and I can see how it was scored a knockdown because Golovkin did land two punches before it happened. Like maybe 5 seconds before Jacobs hit the ground. But that wasn't the same type of fucking punch that Kovalev landed on Ward that hurt him. Like Daniel Jacobs wasn't affected much by that, okay? He was a little bit shaken up and he probably had a lot of things going through his mind at that time after he got up, but he got up and he continued to fight. He was never out on his feet. He never looked like he was at risk after that. I think it was more of like positioning and balance with that knockdown. I think he was trying to get out of there and he just couldn't, and he fell over, man. That's what I think happened. Even looking at the replay. So that knockdown wasn't even really all of that, man. But what I think I'm going to do is, man, I think I'm going to make another video and I think I'm going to read you guys some of these comments that are being left on different comment sections, because some of this is just too good to not be heard and laughed at. I'll be back.